1970s, one of my favorite decades, the music industry was a Shark Tank. There's no doubt about it. But Led Zeppelin was pretty much untouchable. Why? Because of a 300-pound former wrestler named Peter Grant. Today, we're performing a forensic audit of the Grant method. And this wasn't just management. It was the construction of what I'm going to call, this is my analysis, a human fortress. If you're a leader or a mediator, you need to understand how he used protective aggression to create a sanctuary for his team's creativity. It's fascinating stuff, to me anyway. But join me as I deep dive into the Grant method.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe here on YouTube. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, tap auto download so new episodes are ready for you every time they drop. Now, let's dive in.
Peter Grant understood a clinical truth that creativity cannot exist in a state of survival. You just cannot. He made it his mission to handle every threat, from greedy promoters to the press to jealous bands to heartbroken girlfriends. I don't know. So the band never had to enter fight or flight. Maybe they did sometimes, but they probably enjoyed it. He negotiated the legendary 90-10 split, not just for the money, but for the power dynamics. You've got to see how this works. By taking 90% of the gate, he signaled to the world, this band is the alpha. Not you, the promoter, not you, the manager, and not even me, the manager. The band is the alpha. And this allowed the musicians to stay in what we know to be the ventral vagal state. This is the safe, social, and creative state that musicians need to be in order to create. Grant worked on a gentleman's agreement, so a handshake pretty much. I don't know if those deals are done anymore, really. No signed contracts. I don't know if there were with the band. I would assume there were because of the record companies, but between him and the band, in a world of institutional betrayal, Grant offered a systemic integrity. This is what we would call it, because he split everything 5 ways as far as reports go. Because of course, I don't know. I wasn't there. But this is my analysis. So humor me. This removed the narcissistic wedge, I love to talk about this, that usually destroys bands. Oh my goodness. I could talk all day about this. When the manager's nervous system is perfectly aligned with the team's, the fortress becomes impenetrable. You cannot get in. I don't know what you try to do, but you cannot. People dreamed of this stuff. And I believe this created a lot of envy and jealousy from outsiders, be it other groups, other managers, other record companies. And this is my analysis. This is my thought. Of course, I wasn't there, but I believe that in these types of circumstances, people would have been jealous and envious of them. Now, jealousy and envy are very different things. Jealousy is, I want what you have. It would be nice to have what you have. Envy, on the other hand, is, I want what you have. I don't want you to have what you have. And I'm going to make your life miserable because you have it. So this would be purposely trying to sabotage things, spreading gossip and harmful rumors. We have a very unfortunate case that comes to mind, Tanya Harding. These people who suffer from envy cause damage. Elements can come in. Let's say another musician is envious of the success. And let's say the other musician has personal problems. Maybe they misuse substances. I don't know. This is just an example. Well, if envy has taken over this person, then they might introduce those substances to the band that they're envious of. This is just an example. This is just off the top of my head. This is nothing. I'm not saying this happened. This is just an example. This happens. And the reason I give that example is because I've seen similar things happen whereby people tend to sabotage or want to destroy the goodness of something or someone. To do that, they use whatever they can to infiltrate that synergy, that neural synergy, that entity. And if it can't be a person, then it might be something else. They will go to every extreme to do it. As protective as Peter Grant was, he couldn't babysit people all the time, or he couldn't, control adults. The 70s were, as amazing as the 70s were, as we know, we lost a lot of people as well. I would say the modern leader's lesson is, do you protect your team like Peter Grant, or do you let the sharks in? Most managers today it's a shame, but they're institutional enablers. They enable bad behavior. This would be what you call a toxic work culture or environment. And worse, they may even pass down the stress to the employees, especially if they're inept, if they haven't got managerial skills. Peter Grant absorbed the stress and he even neutralized it. So that is true nervous system leadership. This is the creme de la creme. He probably didn't even realize the depth of what he was doing, but it's fascinating. When you look at your team at work or your friendships, your friendship group, is there a parasitic element? Are people jealous of your team, your group? Maybe you're at school and you've met a fantastic group of friends. Are there people jealous of this? Jealousy is not as destructive as envy. These are natural emotions, but there are people who create difficult situations from envy. This is something just to be aware of. Peter Grant would have been aware of something like that. And from what I can ascertain, he had a great sense of humor as well. So I believe, again, this is my own assessment, I believe, because I wasn't there, that he may have used humor to ward off some of that threat. And it can work and it would have worked in his instance because he had that human fortress. He created that. And so there was only so far people could get with him or through him. That is genius. So 5 geniuses working together to create within, 12 years or so? Don't quote me. I think you enthusiasts out there, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. Was there a hidden year or something? Whatever it was, it only took that long. And I believe probably that's all they needed. I do accept now that I won't ever see them perform in person. The only people that could get me out of my house to a concert anyway is Led Zeppelin or Sade. I've seen the ones I want to see, and crowds aren't my thing these days. Unless I'm at a speaking event, I'm happy to. I think that's the other thing. I think Peter Grant was a people person as well, but he used his size, and I'm going to do another deep dive on that because he is a perfect example of a fantastic leader that unfortunately couldn't even ward off his own humanness. Thanks for watching and look out for that. It's the next one coming up.
If today's deep dive resonated with you, it's time to move from clinical observation to strategic action. Your professional identity belongs to you, not your organization. Join Behind the Toxic Workplace, which is a private community for high achievers reclaiming their sovereignty. You'll get immediate access to my foundational recovery course, forensic tools to audit institutional friction, connect with a peer group in a secure private sanctuary. No public algorithms, no professional risks, just clinical strategy and high-level support. The doors are open. Click the link in the description to join the community and begin your inner shift. Let's begin.